It's the closest the Jaguars have ever been to the Colts heading into the month of December. But can they keep the pace with Indianapolis? Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kirwan. And Pat, since they went to the AFC South, Jacksonville has never been within 3 games heading into the month of December. They're only a game back of Indianapolis in this game. And the reason is one guy. It's got to be David Garrard. He's got to be the guy.
It might turn out to be the personnel decision of the year. Let's see how the end of the year works out here. But this is a team that had Byron Leftwich and got rid of him to play their backup quarterback. The guy has not thrown an interception. It's the second longest streak from the start of a season of passes attempted without an interception. The record's held by Bernie Kosar, and he's only about 80 passes away from that. He's a defensive head coach's delight because he will not give the turnover. He'll take the sack before he does that. And I've talked to a number of players today who said, you know what, and don't forget his feet. This guy can run with the football. He averages 4 yards a carry in the open field. In a game like this, we're going to depend on those feet to move the chains a few times.
Garrard has the 4th best passer rating in the NFL. But let's not forget, the first game this year when the Colts dominated on Monday Night Football, Garrard left basically right at the beginning of the second quarter with that injury that kept him out for 3 weeks. It's a different story. He's healthy in this game. I'm not sure what the outcome of that game would have been had he played the whole game, but you got to expect it has a toll here.
Garrard is their starting quarterback, and every team in this league that loses their starting quarterback is affected by that in some way. And in this case, I think it's a big effect on that football team. So now they're in Indianapolis. They're going against Peyton Manning, a guy who averages 29 points a game at home. Surely Marvin Harrison is still a question mark if he's going to play, but what encourages me about those guys is how Anthony Gonzalez played the other night. And so I think he gets the picture he likes. Peyton likes a picture in front of him about how coverage. Anthony Gonzalez is going to help provide that with Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark.
And the other part to that is, Marvin Harrison is not expected to play. And they asked Peyton Manning this week, do you expect to see him? He said, I don't expect to see him for a long time, maybe even the playoffs. So that's a different story. And we've talked about the injury before because you've had your own personal experiences with the burster sack. But Jaguars, this surprised me when I saw it and when you look at it, but they have the 5th worst pass defense in the NFL, and that's still with a good corner, Rasheed Mathis, who will play this week.
Well, if you look at them as pass rushing football team and a pass defense, it starts up front. It always starts up front. It doesn't start with your cover corners and your safeties. It starts with the ability to create pressure. Not necessarily sacks, although sacks is more of a critical factor than most people want to admit. What it starts with, can you affect the timing of the quarterback? And Peyton Manning is a rhythm passer. In the last few weeks, I will say this, while they averaged 18 points a game, Peyton looks to me like he was holding the ball a split second longer because of the lack of experience in his receiver core. But I think he's getting those guys back. If Jacksonville played this team 3 weeks ago, I think Jacksonville would have run them over. I think now it's a whole different story.
And Peyton Manning also gets Tony Ugo back, who's its left tackle, and Manning's been sacked 11 times the last 4 games, so that helps him as well. It gets a little continuity in the offensive line. Let's throw all the numbers into the computer, including the fact that the Jags are the 3rd best rushing team in the NFL, and the AccuScore prediction, 65% of the time, the Colts come out victorious. Let's not forget, Indy is 6-3 in the last 9 against Jacksonville. Who you got?
I like the Colts at home in this game. And, I could see how the Jacksonville Jaguars could win this game. And I know for sure, I talked to Justin Durant and a couple of the players today about the game. They're very excited to go there, and they don't think they're going to struggle. They think they're going to go in there with a dominating running game with that 2-headed monster of Maurice Jones-Drew and Freddie Taylor. But I think at the end of the day, there's enough weaponry now with all the receivers back and Dallas Clark back. Remember, Mike Peterson's missing in the middle. They've had to shift linebackers. Dallas Clark will take advantage of some of the inexperience in the linebacker group to work the middle of the field.
And they have inexperience in the safeties as well.
Yes.
They've had injuries all over the place. And let's not forget, Marcus Stroud still out due to suspension. For more on this game or any other in Week 13, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com and watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. It kicks off at 1 p.m. on CBS. For Pat Kirwan, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.